Alina Habba is a member of President Trump's legal team. Alina, thanks so much for joining us. How concerned is the Trump team about Jack Smith's prior misuse of criminal law during his time as an attorney?
I wouldn't say concerned. I think it's noted. I think it's something we're going to use, obviously, the way that we should. And as I do first want to say, Matt, I really appreciate what you've done, and I've been watching you. And I know the Trump team and the legal team. You're very astute, and you've really been going at it hard. So thank you for what you do. It all counts. But I will say that what's happening to Eric and his family by people like Jack Smith, by the people like Letitia James, as Eric mentioned, is the detriment of this country and our constitutional bedrock, and it needs to stop. So we have to take it head on. Unfortunately, they're giving us no choice in the matter. But I think you said the right thing in the beginning in your monologue, which is that what they wanted was the indictment. What they wanted was the shock factor. They're going to do it time and time again. We know they have a couple more tricks up their sleeve. We're ready for them. But are they legally sound? No. And that's the most important thing I could say as the president's, spokesperson for all legal issues. This is a farce, as Eric said. It is a complete gimmick, and it is election interference. That's the one thing we haven't mentioned, which is exactly what it is, frankly.
So there's new reporting today from the Daily Beast. Bernie Kerik, former New York City Police Commissioner, will turn over about 2,000 pages of materials to Jack Smith. Is this something the Trump legal team wanted to happen? What more can you tell us?
I can't get into any details, number one. Number two, I would just say this. Remember something, every headline that comes out in media, I don't even know if I would recognize the Daily Beast as a valuable media source, but the Daily Beast, they come out with these leaks, and I read a little bit more reputable newspapers, but listen, they come out with this for a reason, and everything is done in specific timing. Headlines are done for election interference. Watch. We know that Hunter's associate was supposed to come out and testify on Monday. I heard now he may not be doing so. But watch, they'll come after Trump again around the same time, so that, again, they say, look at the shiny ball, guys. Don't look over here. We don't want you to see it. We want to give you another headline.
Alina, I want to get to how the media is influencing the federal judiciary. They seem to want to put their thumb on the scale with all of these Trump cases. When Judge Eileen Cannon ruled even remotely favorably for Trump, the media went crazy. Take a listen.
This is a judge, Judge Cannon, who has already made a pattern of pretty far out decisions favoring Donald Trump in the litigation over the search warrant at Mar-a-Lago. She was struck down twice by a very conservative 11th Circuit appellate panel because she so favored him. So who knows what she's going to do?
Judge Cannon, a loose cannon, if you will.
Well, if I were Judge Cannon, I would voluntarily recuse myself.
He's a brand new judge who was handpicked by the guy doing the crimes to preside over the jurisdiction that includes the place where he was committing the crimes.
Alina, should we expect the media to continue to try to influence the federal judiciary?
Of course they will. But let me just say one thing on Judge Cannon. I don't know Judge Cannon, but I read that decision. It was very fair. It was not one-sided. She did set the trial, as we saw. But let me tell you what they didn't cover. We had a judge, Judge Middlebrooks, who was a Clinton-appointed judge, who, when I sued Hillary Clinton on behalf of the president for the Russia hoax, which we now know was not fake, thank you to the Durham report, that judge sanctioned us. But nobody in the media talked about that and said how there was a Clinton-appointed judge going after the Trumps. Nobody said that, and it didn't even get covered. So the media, yes, absolutely. All they do is twist and turn and do exactly what you want. And we see it a little bit with, unfortunately, Fox and some of these other media, entities that are pushing the candidates they want. And if they don't want Trump, they won't cover Trump.
So let me ask you this question. In Fulton County, you've got the potential for a racketeering charge. That's not something people typically think about in the political lens. Do you think that a racketeering charge will be brought, and how would you even expect an indictment like that to be alleged?
I don't know, because when I think of racketeering, and it's funny, somebody mentioned this to me the other day. They said racketeering is what they do for mobs. You know, that racketeering is an old school, old world thing. You don't associate that with the president. You don't associate that with something where he had a phone call with lawyers where he didn't do anything wrong. But what you have, again, is election interference. They're going to tie him up in litigation. They're going to tie him up in depositions and trials, all the way up to the 2024 election. That is interference.
And do you think the goal is to keep him off the ballot? Just real quick, Alina, a few seconds left.
100%.
Do you think the ultimate goal of all this is to use it as a veneer to keep him off the ballot in a state that he might otherwise win?
Absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what this is.
Really, really something that in the name of democracy, they would try to deprive us of a choice for President of the United States. Alina Habba, General Counsel, Save America PAC, thank you so much for being with us this evening.
Thank you.